So really, this should be a celebration post that the Peel Police have arrested a large group of criminals, collected a lot of stolen items and cash, money, and the D word. Let me put that here, that I can't say on here, else I'll just get demonetized. Yeah, should be a celebration, but it's not, is it really?
Project Ghost was initiated after a criminal organization was identified as being involved in violent home invasion robberies for high-end vehicles and jewelry.
Do you know why it's not a celebration? Because you see all these people who got arrested, taken into custody, and then taken to court. Well, half of them are now back out. Yeah, the catch and release thing seems to be working really well in Canada for criminals, for them, not for law-abiding citizens. No, it's not working well for them because they get to have these people come back into our system, away from the prison system, back into our system, and where they can just do things again. They can just do it again.
The initial incident occurred on August 1st, 2024 at 2:45 a.m. when 3 suspects attempted to break into a home on Maybeck Drive in Brampton after targeting a BMW parked in the driveway. The suspects fled in a white Acura after failing to gain entry to the home. About 30 minutes later, the same suspects broke into a Boathouse Road home and demanded keys to a Mercedes-Benz. Though the victims complied, 3 were stabbed, one critically with a wound narrowly missing his heart. The suspects fled in the same white Acura.
No, they don't. They don't need to give the names. They don't need to give any information. So these people who are committing, like we're not talking stealing some candies from the store. We're talking about kids who are going into homes, tying people up, robbing the homes. We're talking about people dragging people from cars and stealing cars. We're talking major crime by these young offenders.
On September 10th, the driver of a Lamborghini was shot and seriously injured in an attempted robbery in Mississauga. This project was able to link the shooting and home invasions to the same criminal group and further identified over 10 other home invasions and jewelry thefts this organization was responsible for across Peel and Halton.
These young offenders could then just go and get a summer job. They could be serving you at McDonald's and in the evening ravaging homes and stealing cars. That's what these young offenders, because we don't know who they are.
Must have heard the news about the 6-time drunk driver that was arrested last week and let on bail with a promise of promising that he wouldn't drive again, despite the fact that he already had 3 lifetime convictions. So we do need to strengthen our criminal code and bail reform to make sure that people like that driver aren't allowed to endanger public safety.
So I hear Khan is thinking about changing something in the fall when they've all finished their holidays and they actually try and do some more work. But I don't see him changing it. I really don't, because this government is so for criminals. It's unbelievable. Even if you try and defend your home from inside your home, you have 3 or 4 people walk into your home, and you use too much force. You're the one who's going to you're the one who goes to jail. Not the criminals who've walked into your home to steal it or to attack your family. No, you are the one using too much force on people in your home. That's something else we need. We need a castle law here as well. You need to be able to defend yourself. It doesn't matter if you use too much force in your own home. If they run out the door and run down the street and then you run after them and use too much force, yeah, that to me would be wrong. But while they're in your house, yeah, they'll get what they need to rehabilitate them while they're in your home. That's what we should have. We should have that. We should have a Canadian castle law. How do we get that? How do we change the government's mind on something like that? I just don't know. I just don't know unless we eventually change the government and we get a conservative government in who will be tough on crime and tough on criminals. But until then, I don't think we're going to go anywhere with this, are we?